Pro View is coming to League of Legends, and more coming up on today's episode of the latest in tech news. Hey Gadgeteer, you're just in time for the latest episode of the world's only 3-in-1 show on tech, gadgets, and gaming news. That's right, this is the latest in tech news. My name is Taylor Merrick, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now so that you don't miss out on the next episode. And by the way, when it comes to that like button, just hold off until you get to a section of the show that you actually like. Today is one of those Friday special episodes. It only happens maybe every other Friday or so. It depends when it's, well, it mainly happens because I have things that are going on Fridays, so I'm not able to do a complete show. So the Friday special is where I give you a couple quick articles. I don't have any Today in Tech History. I don't have any Did You Know facts. We just get straight right into the news. Speaking of which, our feature story that we'll be looking at today is Pro View coming to League of Legends. We'll also be taking a look at Microsoft revealing that xCloud can stream up to 3,500 games from the cloud. Pretty impressive. Fairly certain though that they had to come out with this announcement because they're kind of concerned about Stadia being released by Google and how easy it seems to be. And finally, we'll also be taking a look at a new bullet train being unveiled in China. Apparently, top reports are saying that its top speed is 373 miles an hour. So, with that, kind of summing up today's articles of what we're going to talk about, let's hop right on in, shall we? Whoa, new button. Oh, what does that do? Oh, well, we totally skipped over a whole bunch of stuff. We're just getting right into the news. By the way, if you guys like this format, hey, let me know down in the comment section. Maybe I'll do more of these a little bit more often. It really depends on my schedule, if I'm busy or not, if I'm able to do a full show or like a short, quick one like this. I don't normally do these styles of shows, but I do when necessary. I still want to get a show out to you guys. I still want you guys to be informed and up to date on what's going on. So, with that being said, when it comes to League of Legends, well, looks like it's adopting an Overwatch League-style premium esports pass. And let me just say that looking at this esports pass, a lot better than Overwatch, but we'll be getting into that. League of Legends isn't just one of the biggest games on the planet. It's perhaps the most popular esport too, starting with the upcoming summer split of the League Championship Series, known as the LCS, and the European Championship, the LEC. Riot Games will be offering a way to watch matches from the pros' points of view and see everything they do, including mouse clicks and keystrokes. Along with point of view perspectives for all 10 players, you can watch up to 4 streams at once, including the main feed, although Riot isn't supporting multi-view on mobile for now. You'll have access, and the main reason for that is you'll be sucking a lot of data, and if you're not connected to Wi-Fi, you're the one paying the charges for that, so keep that in mind. You'll have access to an advanced timeline which details kills, tower takedowns, and other big plays, and clicking on a marker will take you to that point in a match. I've always been impressed by the League replay system and everything that they have going on behind the scenes. That's mainly why I'm like, when it comes to esports, I'm one of League's biggest fans, because nobody else does it better. And I've mentioned this, oh gosh, when the World Championship showed up in October, and I talked about it. But anyways, you probably don't want to hear me gush about it. But if something's done well and something's good and you can see a lot of work and a lot of effort went into it and it pays off, well, heck yeah, I'll talk about it. I'll say it's good. I swear it is some stupid eyebrow or eyelash. Did I get it? I think I poked my eyeball out. Oh, and if you're like, I didn't know you had an eyeball. Well, yeah, your reason why you don't know is because you're listening it to the show via the podcast. You see, if you head on over to youtube.com/TechNewsGadget, well, you'll get the video of the full show. So, moving on, you'll get to see stats for each player and you can share a link to friends that syncs with your own timeline so you can watch matches play out together at the same time. The summer split will only offer English casters or commentary audio, although Riot plans to support more languages soon. The features will be included on VOD replays as well as live games. Now, this Pro View will be available for both the LCS and the European Championship at 2 levels: regional access and all access. It costs $15 for the LCS or £15 for the LEC and grants you access to the viewing system through the summer split. The all access pass for both leagues costs $20 US, while proceeds will be split between regional leagues and pro teams. Pricing might be different for future events, as you'll have access to more content, and Riot plans to add ProView support for more leagues down the line. You'll still be able to watch the main feeds for free across various platforms, of course. As always, this is just for those of you who like the more detailed, in-depth view on how in the world they managed to stack so much gold so quickly, how they're able to snowball off of this, and what did this person do that, like, pointed off this one thing they did that then snowballed the entire team or led to the whole entire team's demise. I don't know. I love how just quickly they get into the stats and numbers here. So Riot, ironically, seems to be taking a page out of Blizzard's playbook here. For the 2019 Overwatch League season, Blizzard and Twitch introduced the Command Center, which lets fans watch matches from Overwatch Pro's perspectives if they have the $15 all-access pass. There's currently no option to catch VODs through the Command Center, however, which is also less flexible with its multi-viewer options than what Riot is planning. It seems like Riot actually puts thought into stuff before they release it, hence why it is received the way it is. So what do you guys think? Are you excited about this? I, for one, am excited about this. I would love to be able to watch more matches this way. Hopefully, I'll be able to watch it depending on the platform I'm viewing and whether I'm at my home location or on the go. I mainly only like watching the LCS matches, and most of them that fall during the September, October, November time frame. That's when I like to watch LCS. It's basically like the playoffs for football here in the United States. So those are the matches I like watching. I like seeing newcomers. I like seeing old players on different teams and different styles and different metas and different setups and different takedowns. And I'd always like to see more stats, of course, obviously, because I'm a nerd or a geek. Which one's like number more? I don't wear glasses. So another reason why you should be watching the video. YouTube.com/TechNewsGadget. But I understand if you're on the go, you can listen via the podcast as well. So those are my thoughts. I'd love to hear yours. Drop them in the comments section down below. Moving right along here, Microsoft is revealing that xCloud can stream up to 3,500 games from the cloud. Microsoft is revealing some of the more finer details about its upcoming xCloud game streaming service today. The software maker has been testing the service with employees recently, allowing them to take the service anywhere to test streaming of Xbox games. Microsoft is currently building out the servers required for xCloud, but it's revealing today that the service, quote, has the technical capability to stream more than 3,500 games without developers needing to make any changes to their titles. Game developers like Capcom and Paradox are now testing their games on xCloud ahead of public trials later this year. We've already deployed our custom Project xCloud Blades to data centers across 13 Azure regions, with initial emphasis on proximity to key game development centers in North America, Asia, and Europe, explains Kareem Chowdhury, Microsoft's cloud gaming chief. Now, that hints that Microsoft is focusing on these key parts of the world initially, so this won't just be a US-only service at launch. Game developers will also be able to tweak their game slightly for streaming, allowing for font size adjustments for smaller displays, or even hosting multiplayer matches on a single server to keep that all-important latency number down. Now, Microsoft is still keeping quiet on an exact xCloud public trial date, but we understand the company is planning to talk a lot more about it at E3 next month. Microsoft's xCloud service will go head-to-head with Sony's PlayStation Now service and Google's upcoming Stadia cloud streaming service. And obviously, if you didn't notice as well, we've covered all of that before, as well as Microsoft and Sony partnering for the future of cloud game streaming, but they'll still be operating separate services for PlayStation and Xbox customers. So there we go. Now we know how many games you can play, and still more movies to watch on Netflix. It never ends, except I think I probably hit my limit on Netflix and Hulu because there's really not much else to watch, and I actually find myself more often than not scanning through Amazon Prime, just finding anything. I'm grasping at straws here. I guess I'm a very picky viewer of sorts. I don't know. Maybe I need to get a life. All right, moving on to our last article of today. Well, wouldn't be a tech news show without a little bit of gadgets, except this is one big fat honking gadget. Well, China says its new bullet train will hit 373 miles per hour. I like the subtitle here. It says, that would be a really fast train. Well, obviously. You gotta find humor in this, guys. I'm sorry. The state-owned rail company in China has built the prototype for a blazingly fast maglev train. The new prototype, built by the China Railway Rolling Stock Corporation, is being designed to carry passengers at 373 miles per hour. And how that works out across the pond and elsewhere in the world is 600 kilometers an hour. China hopes the train will be serving passengers in 2021. Take Beijing to Shanghai as an example. Counting preparation time for the journey, it takes about 4.5 hours by plane, about 5.5 hours by high-speed rail, and would only take about 3.5 hours with the new high-speed maglev train, said CRRC Deputy Chief Engineer Ding Sansan, head of the train's research and development team, in a statement to CNN. Now, the prototype itself has been in development for around 3 years. His team feels they have created a lightweight and high-strength train body that will serve as a testing foundation for 5 more prototypes after this one to complement and serve the process his team is making. A subsidiary of the China Railway will be building an experimental center and a high-speed maglev trial production center by the end of 2019. So the new prototype is China's entry into a current regional battle, in case you didn't know, for high-speed train supremacy. Japan's proposed bullet train, which will be finished in a decade or so, has a proposed speed of 224 miles per hour. And why is this important? Well, let's just say that for me personally, I'm kind of interested in this because almost a decade ago now at this point, I was in Taiwan teaching English, which is a whole lot of fun. By the way, I got to see a whole new country, try different food, experience a different culture. It's always great to get out of the country that you live in and live in another country for a time. You kind of get a nice balancing effect. But there they had a lot of trains. Trains was the main source of transportation there. A lot of things were all interconnected to each other. But there was one train, the high-speed bullet train, that connected the top of the island to the bottom. It was, well, in Taiwan, it went from Taipei all the way down to Hualien, and it was, or not, well, yeah, I think I misnamed where it goes, but it goes from the top all the way down south. Kaohsiung, one of the two. Probably it went straight down. It went fast, and if you went on a normal train, it would take you like 5 or 6 hours, and there'd be stops all along the way. If you went by car, roughly about the same amount of time, because the roads weren't straight and they went all over every which way, and the highway itself sometimes had a lot of traffic on them, or it varied. But with the bullet train, well, boom, 3 hours top to bottom, or an hour. It's been a while since I've been on it. They probably go a lot faster now, but yeah, I enjoyed it. I only went on it once. Otherwise, I was on the normal trains and the normal buses and vehicles. So yeah, but 373 miles per hour, instead of 4.5 to 5.5 hours going from Beijing to Shanghai, 3.5 hours, pretty impressive. So, all right, well, I think that wraps up. Anything, if, as always, you have anything you want to add, feel free to drop your thoughts in the comment section. Just be sure to hit enter and hit like. Otherwise, your thoughts like vaporize into the ether of the internet, and then nobody knows what was going on and what was said. Even you, because you might forget. And we don't want you to forget. So post your thoughts so that you don't forget them. Sound good? All right, well, that wraps up this episode of the latest in tech news. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I know it was short, but it was another Friday special, so we will be back on Monday. New episodes every weekday. The latest in tech news can be found on every major platform, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, YouTube, Stitcher, Overcast, and more. Now, if you enjoyed this episode, let us know by clicking that like button and by leaving a comment. Also, double check that you are subscribed so that you don't miss the next episode. I'm your host, Taylor Merrick, and remember, for the latest in tech, gadget, and gaming news, visit TechNewsGadget.net. Pretty much, keep being awesome, guys, and I'll see you on the flip side.